Welcome to Red Eye. It's like the kids are all right, if by all right you mean chained to the radiator in my basement. Let's go to TV's Andy Levy for our pregame report. So, Andy, what's coming up on tonight's show?
Thanks, Greg. Coming up on the big show, we'll take a look at President Obama's trip to Indonesia, where he once again reached out to the Muslim world. But has the Muslim world stopped reaching back? We'll have an exclusive interview with the Muslim world.
Yeah.
Plus, are flight attendants revolting? Well, that seems like a mean thing to say, but they're definitely not happy about the TSA's new pat-down rules. By the way, I ripped off that revolting joke from an old Wizard of Oz comic strip.
Nice.
And finally, Lieutenant Colonel and Congressman-elect Alan West joins us to talk about all things Lieutenant Colonel-y and Congressman-electy. Greg?
Thank you, Andy.
Base slave, thy words are blunt, and so art thou. Beg that thou mayst leave to hang thyself. Greg?
Oh, fie on you, how you cross me. I'd rather live with cheese and garlic in a windmill.
Dude, you do live with cheese and garlic in a windmill.
Oh, I anticipate and welcome much suffering in your life.
And I apologize for nothing.
Why should you? Let's welcome our guest. There she is. Her name, Brooke Goldstein. She's the founder of the Children's Rights Institute, and director of the Lawfare Project. Basically, she's a loafer. She's so adorable that puppies use pictures of her as their screensaver. Didn't know puppies could use computers, but oh well. Ryan Reese, actor, comedian, and writer. If wit were a crossword puzzle, bored cleaning ladies would do him on the subway. My repulsive kickstand, I've changed it, Bill Schultz. True fact, Amnesty International considers him a human rights violation. And sitting right next to me, none other than Father Jonathan Morris, Fox News contributor. He knows God like I know sod. I use it for all my burying needs. And he's full of vanity and short on sanity. It's our New York Times correspondent. Good to see you again, Pinch.
Log on to the New York Times interweb site to read columnists David Brooks and Gail Collins debate all things college. Speaking of, hey, co-eds, if you fold me the right way, I make it for an excellent beer funnel and relatively effective birth control.
Oh, you're a desperate
You just
thing.
wear me like a diaper, Greg.
Oh, shut up.
Very absorbent.
All right. Well, he came, he saw, he danced. Yeah, Barack Obama has left Indonesia, where he probably wasn't born. Probably. But before leaving, he made a speech, and you know what that means. It's time for another episode of Hello, Barry. Tonight, Obama addresses frayed tensions.
I said then, and I will repeat now, that no single speech can eradicate years of mistrust. But I believed then, and I believe today, that we do have a choice. We can choose to be defined by our differences and give in to a future of suspicion and mistrust. Or we can choose to do the hard work of forging common ground and commit ourselves to the steady pursuit of progress. And I can promise you, no matter what setbacks may come, the United States is committed to human progress. That is who we are, that is what we've done, and that is what we will do.
Wow. So how did the Muslim world react to his pledge for better relations? Not with skepticism. Oh, wait. Yes, with skepticism. According to Reuters, in Egypt, Muslims spoke of Obama failing to keep promises. Said one quote, "It's all speeches. In the end, the same American politics and Jewish politics continues. It's always the damn Jews." So is his reaching out a reach? And what about even shaking hands? Indonesia's information minister makes a point of not touching women who are unrelated to him. Not a bad thing. But after news footage showed him extending his hand to Michelle Obama, he felt the need to explain on Twitter, writing, quote, "I tried to prevent being touched with my hands, but Mrs. Michelle held her hands too far toward me, so we touched." Let's watch this in slow motion. See if he's lying. It's very. How are we going to look at this? That's amazing. I need to see it at least 17 more times. You know, every time he shakes somebody's hand, a big round circle forms around. He is definitely a holy man. Anyway, we asked Red Eye Southeast Asia correspondent to file a report on Obama's visit.
SL 見つけてブロークンウェア SL 見つめてブロークンウェア On nice train.
He has been a major disappointment, I might say. Brooke, has this trip been pointless?
Well, no, I think it serves the point of appeasing the Muslim world, which is obviously part of Obama's platform, which has done everything but focus attention on where it should be, on combating radicalization. Now the attention is on what our promises are and if we haven't fulfilled them. So I think it's completely counterproductive.
It is counterproductive, and it's not working. I mean, they aren't being appeased.
No.
I've always learned that they understand strength, not weakness. When you come with your unclenched fist, they intend not to shake it.
Well, absolutely, and I wish that he would take this platform and the opportunity to talk about real issues, such as the fact that Jemaah Islamiyah, which is based in Indonesia, is recruiting innocent Muslim children to become suicide bombers. If he wants to champion women's and children's rights in the Muslim world, that's what he should be talking about.
Is that what they're recruiting for? I read the pamphlet and I just thought it was a bake sale. I'm not going, Greg. I will not do it.
Oh, we were so close. We were so close. Father, good to have you back.
Thanks.
What do you think that that Obama's heart is in the right place, but maybe not his mind?
I don't judge hearts. I judge actions.
Okay.
You know, but first of all, we should say to Andy, in that introduction, he used a lot of thous and thys, and I was a little bit offended.
Were you? Really?
Absolutely. I don't know if it was because I was here. Maybe I'm a little bit sensitive.
Yeah. It's your turf.
But it's awkward. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, President Obama does the right thing talking about religious liberty and religious tolerance.
Mm-hmm.
But if he's in a place in which there's not religious liberty, religious tolerance, he should speak to that point, to what Brooke was saying.
Yeah.
He shouldn't say, you know what, we need to tolerate each other, we need to respect each other, congratulations.
Yeah.
He should say, you're not doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the difference here. It's
But
very
he
important.
won't, either because he's too polite or he's too scared, Ryan. What's going on here?
I don't know. I'm fixated on that clip of that guy shaking Michelle Obama's hand. That was like Muslims Gone Wild.
Yes, it was.
We're just going to keep playing that over and over again.
Yeah.
That's porn for them.
He tweeted about it. He tweeted. Well, you can't touch a woman, but you can tweet?
That is actually that is the best point about this, is that here is a culture that is so backward you cannot shake a woman's hand, but he goes on Twitter.
And I love the reasoning. I normally never touch a woman that isn't related to me. Well, he must be from southern Indonesia, huh?
Yes, definitely. Bill, as a Muslim born in Kenya, who once attended Reverend Wright's church for 2 decades, you feel a special bond with Obama.
As being a false Christian?
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum. I mean, whoops. Fix an edit. I like the fact that he spoke to Indonesians in their native tongue of Bahasa.
Yes.
Mostly because I did not know that the Indonesian native tongue was Bahasa.
Neither did I.
I thought that they maybe spoke Romulan,
Yeah.
Klingon perhaps, but I did not even know that was a language.
Yeah.
Obama took the time to learn,
Yes.
Greg. He took the time
Yeah.
to learn. Something you should
You know
try.
what he is? He's an eternal college student, Obama. Always interested in going on spring break to other countries and telling everybody how America sucks with his backpack and his Canadian sticker on the back so they don't know he's from the United States. He's obsessed by other cultures and embarrassed by ours.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Remember, I was like, oh, I used to live here, guys. I'm one of you. I'm not. This is really my home.
When
I have
has
a
he
piece of
ever
it.
said that he was embarrassed by America? When has he ever come close to saying
I
that
happen to
he is?
have that on tape, but I lost it.
All right, well, I will take that, and I apologize to you,
Thank you,
and
man.
America.
Thank you very
I don't
much.
apologize to Obama. Stop making fun of the U.S.
Yeah, there you go. From girl greetings to girl mistreatings. Does Saudi Arabia treat the fairer sex fairly? The UN seems to think so after accepting our oily Broheim's bid for a seat on a board to promote equality for women, despite the fact that they don't let dames drive nor enter domiciles where dudes deliberate. Dastardly. A lot of D's. The 41-member executive board has been sharply criticized by human rights groups for, admitting a country where women make up 5% of the working class. For more on this story, let's go live to Fox News Middle East correspondent Mook Mook, the nearsighted squirrel, for analysis. Mook Mook! He's got to start sending us talking points before the show because you know what, that was not useful to us at all.
No, and by the way, he said the same thing to John Shep.
Yeah,
You know?
I don't even think he prepares for anything.
No,
You know what? I think he comes to the show drunk.
Well, either that or he needs glasses.
He
is the nearsighted squirrel.
Bill, he comes to the show drunk and then says he was only having 3 glasses.
I saw his
Yeah.
tweet. And it's
Yeah.
very hard for him to tweet because of those paws.
Yes. Brooke, you are a human rights attorney, and women are considered human. What are your thoughts?
I mean, This just goes to show that the United Nations has absolutely no credibility anymore. I mean, it is a democracy of totalitarian dictatorships. It is susceptible to lawfare. We have the Organization of the Islamic Conference, the 57-member voting bloc that's maneuvering to define international law in its own interest. If this hypocrisy continues, we risk totally devaluing the organization and international human rights law in general. It's appalling.
You know, I agree. Brian, is it time to move the UN to another country like Hawaii?
I'm trying to figure this whole thing out, actually. So they got 19 votes.
Yeah, for Iran, right?
Who were the 19 votes?
Yeah.
What's the justification behind voting?
Let me tell you who
for
the
Iran?
19 votes are.
I'd love to hear.
And well, first of all, I must say, you guys hire these correspondents, right?
Yes, we do.
So stop like blaming them. Okay, you hire them.
Okay, online we didn't know he was a squirrel. He never said he was a squirrel.
By the way, Greg found out half
do
of
something,
Mook's references were either related or fake. We found that out after the fact.
He claimed you work for the AP.
Yeah.
On less important points.
Yes.
The UN here, 19 people voted for Iran to have this seat.
Yes.
That was comprised of two groups. Those groups that would like to say that a Muslim majority on every single seat would be a very positive thing.
Yeah.
Why? Because they can impose their understanding of human rights, which is skewed, and anyone who thinks that women don't deserve the same rights as men. And it's comprised, the second part, by Western self-hating countries who don't believe you can ever say that some things are always and everywhere right, and other times and other things always wrong.
Yeah, everything's relative.
Absolutely.
Everything is relative. There's no right. There's no exceptionalism. In fact, we could learn something from a culture where people die at 30. You know, maybe they want to die at 30. Speaking of Bill, how's your UN panel on hermaphrodite rights coming along?
Terrible.
Yeah?
Terrible.
They're not listening to you.
No, they're not. And I point to a lot of Olympians that have suffered from this problem,
Yes.
and they don't want to come on board. It's terrible. I've given up.
Yep.
I will say that I think the contrarian view would be to say that they're putting Saudi Arabia on the board because whereas most Middle East countries are at like 1432, at least Saudi Arabia is at like 1890. You know, they have women in colleges. They do work, even though it's like 5%.
Maybe
they are allowed to drive as long as it's not near a big city. So like they're coming around.
Big
It's slow.
allies of the United States of America.
Yes, especially when we pay for their
clear.
oil.
Yeah. That's what it's all about.
Okay.
Right? Saudi Arabia.
Oh,
Really?
yeah. We
We're
will give them
hoping
the
that we
time
can
of
kick
day.
it. We can drag them kicking and screaming. But you know the thing about Iran, and I want to go last point on this. Where are all the American feminists? Like the ones that Gloria Allred went after Meg Whitman. Apparently Meg Whitman is worse than Ahmadinejad. In Gloria Allred's eyes. This is what to me is the strangest thing about it, is like you can get away with anything you want in another country.
Well, they're respecting their culture.
Yes, exactly.
Cultural
They're very jealous of women.
relativism.
They throw rocks at them.
Yes,
They're giving
exactly.
gifts.
Lose weight with a clitorectomy.
Exactly. They wrap them up to keep them
That
safe.
wasn't even a joke. That's serious. There's terrible crap going on in some of these countries, and no one cares. All right, to the Gregolog. It's a flaming sack of sensibility left on the front porch of your brain. So British students, i.e. dirtbags, took to the streets to protest government plans to let colleges raise their tuition. They broke into the Conservative Party's offices and started fires while painting the universal symbol of the jobless hipster, the anarchy sign. Here's a rule to remember. Someone who still thinks the anarchy symbol is an edgy sign of revolutionary bravado is also someone who still sponges off mommy and daddy and yet never pays for a drink. In short, they're babies. So yeah, tuition limits are going up to £9,000, and in our money, that's $14,500. That's a used Jetta with 70,000 miles, or 3 hours with Ashley Dupre. So why the rage? Well, the West is witnessing the continuation of the first real global tantrum, stretching from Greece to France to Berkeley to London. The babies in every country, so used to entitlements, are now being told that the piper must be paid. But because no one taught them the basics of finance, their only reply is wah, wah, and wah. Thanks to education fetishists, there's a belief that there should be no price tag on classes like Lady Gaga's effect on transgender truck drivers, and that the only limits to your education is your desire to be educated. Sounds like something you'd see on the back of a Prius, but that's because most political views on entitlements are based on sticker sloganeering, feel-good sentimentality unattached to the consequences of cost. Anyway, they should be rioting over stuff that matters, like the doubling of alcohol prices in England to curb binge drinking. I mean, what's the point of an education if you can't remember it? And if you disagree with me, you're a racist, homophobic, anarchophobe.